tools, what we are trying to see is a network which looks like this. And for every part of the body, if you click the particular organ or particular tissue, you you can basically see how much amount of work has been done and what kind of interconnectivities there are between the subcellular molecules in one cell versus the other cell. And this is going to be an enormous tool for scientists to understand what is the interconnectivity. And another very important use of this database would be, if there's very less amount of work which has happened in, let us assume that in an organ like pancreas, for example, there's very less amount of work which has happened, although it contributes to many of the disease. So you can find the research gaps where it is less studied, where it is more studied, and you can basically fine tune or design your research questions in such a way that there is more chances of you to get money to do this research. So this is where
Can I ask something over here, sir?
Please.
Yeah. So this database, is it available for access to everyone, or it is not like that?
Okay, so the database is under creation now. It will take another 2-3 years for it to completely formalize and get completed. But what we are doing now is, in the process of creating this database, we are training hundreds and hundreds of students across India from all colleges, and and the students, they go back and they say that, I mean, literally, I'll tell in Hindi what they say. Sir, अभी पता चला सर कैसा research article पढ़ना है.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is what they say. In pure Hindi, I'm saying, सर ये तो हमारा कोर्स वर्क में होना चाहिए था सर, कोई सिखाए नहीं सर. This is what they say.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
in the process, what we do is that the students get so much excited because these are all like AI applications where they sit at the machine and they try to get the data out, and they see that how to read a research article, how to read an abstract, how to read an introduction, how to read a conclusion, how to extract the relations which are, because every research article you see, what is it? It is just relations. By knocking out the gene, this effect was seen, or when this gene was mutated, this disease was seen. It's all relations which are in the research articles, and we are trying to extract those relations and throwing it back to the computer and tell the computer that now I have given you the relations. Now you create a relation chart for it. Maybe one relation, these relations which I have given, maybe one has come from subcellular studies, one has come from cellular studies, one should have come from a tissue study, one should have come from organ study. No matter what. I'm just asking them, can you just interconnect these relations for me? And it interconnects and gives a huge network. And there I'll be able to know how are these interconnected. It's a very exciting to see how it develops. Okay, so I think that I'm like the earliest of all speakers. I was told by Manish that all talks went for like 1.5 hours. I cannot talk for 1.5 hours. I'm tired, but I will love to listen to the questions. If you have time, I can definitely talk about. I mean, maybe on some other time I can talk about how to get funds, how to write grants, how to write research papers. These are all things which can take up further at a later stage. But if you have any questions focused on this talk, please let me know.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So I'll request all the participants to ask if you have any queries, anything, clarification that you want on this topic. The speaker is with us. You can please raise your hands, or you can post your queries on the WhatsApp group also. Okay, sir, I would just like to know that we have talked about the artificial intelligence, and as far as identification of various targets by the use of artificial intelligence in oncology is concerned. So Yeah. So, what is your experience that when artificial intelligence, or you can say a combination of artificial intelligence and the human intelligence, if it is combined and if they complement each other, so what is the rate of success? Is there any rise in the rate of success as far as some you're identifying some targets, or if the new drugs are being identified? So, are any rise as far as identification is concerned is being reported as per your experience? Although I think artificial intelligence, it is something which is a topic of current research area, so it will definitely take some time, but still, whatever work has been done till date, are there any rises observed in success stories?
Uh, See, if you look at the articles in artificial intelligence applications in drug discovery, I mean, I think the articles have started coming in the last 5 6 years. You can see some articles which has been written on application of artificial intelligence, and most of those are uh, there are some data which shows that the machine learning tools have been able to predict and give some output, but I will say that it is still developing because the prediction models have to be very robust. uh, I'll give you a small example that when we were annotating a paper using the machine learning tool, uh, we told, so I don't know whether you know acne. Acne is a disease which happens to the skin. It's called
Yeah.
ACNE, acne, right?
Yes. Right.
So
Yes, sir.
it's yeah. So it's P. acne. The organism is called P. acne. Well, it's a propionobacterium acne. Now, when there were a lot of research papers which we told the machine to annotate, wherever it was P. acne, it annotated that as a disease called acne. It was not able to differentiate that P. acne is different from acne. P. acne was the disease causing agent, and acne was the disease, right? It was not able
Okay.
to demarcate the difference of P. acne and acne. It just took it as a disease. Then we had to
Yeah.
tell the machine that wherever it is P. acne, please read as propanobacterium acne, right?
Okay.
But
Right.
if the paper comes to human beings, I can easily figure out that P. acne is propanobacterium acne. It's not a disease, but it's basically a bacterium, correct?
Yeah. Right.
Now let's give another example that we were discussing. I'm giving a simple example so that that there is a clear understanding as to how what humans can do and what machines cannot do, or what is the challenge. There was a paper where it was written that the cells the cells started stimulating. Okay, cells started stimulating
Yes.
when the gene X was knocked out. So cells started stimulating when gene X was knocked out. Now, let's assume that there is another sentence in the paper which says that the cell uh, got discharged. The cell got discharged. Okay. Now, the first cell which was stimulated was a biological cell, but the second cell which got discharged is an electrical cell. Correct?
Okay.
How does the machine know that one is linked to biology and one is linked to engineering,
Yeah. Right.
right? So if you see, or if you go into the nitty gritty of artificial intelligence, the challenges which we face in artificial intelligence is that you have to come up with very very robust models to train the machine, and that is where the hiccup is. It's not that artificial intelligence cannot do things, but it all depends upon how clever are we in writing the algorithms to make to generate the model so that it can predict efficiently as to what you expect from the machine.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so I think that it's a challenge, but I think that the more and more we put our brains to write the best algorithms, I think that the machines are going to complement us. And the biggest advantage is that just think of a situation that you are required to work for 18 hours a day. Can you work? Maybe you can work for one day, or maybe at the max 2 days, and then you will not be able to sustain. But think of a machine. It doesn't need a rest. It doesn't need food. You just give electricity to it. It will work for all the 365 days.
Yeah, right.
Right? So
Yeah.
the place where it can save time, it can save a lot of time, it can save a lot of cost. You don't have to pay salary for the machine. You don't have to do anything. Just give and it will do the job. So I think that it is going to complement. But I purposefully did not bring this conversation that is it going to overtake or undertake, etc., because that is not required for our discussion here. But it's focusing on what are the applications of artificial intelligence. So
Yeah.
I hope that you should have gotten maybe a fairly good understanding about which direction are we moving. Maybe you should not have digested all the slides which I have presented, but I think the take-home message is that it's a collaboration between the machine and the mind.
Yeah, right.
So I'll
I
leave it
think to
there.
make,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
yeah.
So
Please
I
go ahead.
think to make machine more intelligent, the human being has to be even uh, more intelligent, or you have to think beyond boundaries. Then only you
Yes,
can make machine work intelligently.
exactly. It's a one-time investment.
Exactly. So there are more questions coming in. So I'll raise
Yeah,
questions one by one.
yeah.
One of our participant has asked, can we make our students to participate in Manav project? And how could we motivate our students to participate in the project?
Oh my God. Well, I think that what is the motivation for eating food in the morning? Can anyone tell me? Any students? What is the
That's
motivation?
your that's your
Eat
hunger.
hunger, right? It's a
Yeah.
hunger which motivates you to eat food. So I think if you have the hunger, I think you can do it.
Yeah.
You have to have the hunger for it. I really don't think that anybody can motivate you, but we can travel with you to some distance to handhold you. But I think you have to have the hunger for to self-sustain in the long run. Uh, and so I think you should look for that hunger. If you have the hunger, you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. I think, sir, the participants probably wants to know that how can we actually participate in that? I mean, what is
Okay,
the
so
process for getting into it?
okay, so I mean, students who have interested, or I think that it should officially, if the institutions can write to me saying that this is our college and this is this we have this many professors or students, we like to contribute to this national project and be a part of it. I think I can connect you with the outreach team for us, and they will tell you how to take the training and how to get into this project. That's not difficult.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay. So, is the training given on site? I mean, at the
Yes.
institute, or the student has to come down to NCCS?
No, it's all online.
It's all online. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay.
all online. We are talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, right. Exactly, sir. Yeah. Another question from another participant. Any drug that is developed from artificial intelligence, which is approved by FDA?
Yes, so I have seen some medical diagnostic devices and some algorithms written for machine learning, which has been approved by FDA, but I have not seen any drug which has been approved by FDA till now. If anybody has that knowledge, please share with me. Uh, but there has been a couple of uses on the blogs about some medical devices which has been approved by FDA, which has come out of it, which has come out of AI. And it is also believable that getting medical devices to be artificially, I mean, generated artificial through artificial intelligence is much more practicable than developing a drug, because that is much more complex. So I'll also ask if anybody has knowledge about a drug. I would be happy to know from you. At least I'm not.
I think there are, there are some drugs which have been developed by artificial, although the number is very, very less. But there are some drugs which have been approved by FDA, and the development was basically from the origin was artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So I think there are certain drugs in the category of antiviral drugs which have been developed from this approach.
Fine.
Okay, next question again coming in, sir. What is the tentative cost of developing Manav Human Atlas initiative?
Well, the cost is actually towards getting the servers and the data scientists, human resource. Data scientists are highly paid, and we need two group of people here: data scientists and science experts. And what we require from the institution is senior professors and junior professors and PhD students. The cost actually comes into around 15-20 crores for a proof of concept in this, because that is where we need at least to have the basic high-end servers to put the data and process the data. So I'll say that around 20-25 crores is an approximate cost to get a proof of concept. And when it expands and when it develops, I think we have to chip in more money.
Okay, sir. I think Bhatia sir wants to ask something. So you can
Sir,
ask.
about the same initiative, Manav means whether it is a totally public funded initiative or public private partnership.
So it's funded completely by the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. But we work with ICER Pune, we work with Persistent. So Persistent is an IT company. ICER is a research institute like ours, which comes under the Ministry of Human Resource and Development. And NCCS is coming under the Ministry of Science and Technology. So it's a kind of a public-private partnership, but it's not funded by the private.
Okay.
But yeah, but I think they also put in some money because they also have to contribute.
Thanks for a wonderful session. I think it kept us, all of us, engrossed.
Thank you so much, Manish. I was not sure as to how this will go because this is kind of a tricky topic, right? So if you really don't work in artificial intelligence, you may not be able to absorb all of it. But at least we have set a stage where students should start thinking about moving to AI platforms and learning data science, because that is the need of the hour, that we don't want to get many data scientists. India has a dearth of data scientists, although who is working are very good, but we have a dearth of data scientists. And now I see that there is a small trend which has started from pharmacy. People who are doing PhD have started to move after their PhD to data science. At least the ones which have a strong inclination towards computer programming and computational things, they have started to data science because they know that is where the future lies. So yeah, I think it's good that you connected that I could share some of the information which I had with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, students. Thank you, faculties. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity.
Thanks once again, sir.
For the sea of the wisdom you have given, and we are grateful to have you, and we appreciate your efforts to make this session really interesting. Thank you, sir.